do my pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that voice, then you're not really pelvic thrusting. Are you? I mean, try to pelvic thrust at home. Go ahead. You can't really do it without you get that voice on.
Everybody wants to be something they're not and have shit they ain't got. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just be nice. You don't have to be that guy. Show some respect. Just be a person. Love one.
We can get back to boom. Here we go. Wait for it.
Oh,
And we're back.
and
We're back in part 2 after Jackson's 3-hour piss.
Oh yeah,
No, whatever. We're gonna.
Chinese was good.
Yeah, Chinese food was good. We actually did that.
Wasn't very good.
If you're ever in Gadsden, definitely Golden China. Yeah,
Golden China. It's
They-
awesome.
They have my wife says it's the best General Tso's chicken in all of the South, and she's from Pennsylvania, where apparently they have the best Chinese food ever. So I don't know. I thought that was an Eastern thing.
Trust it.
Is that? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So back to
Max.
my high school experience. From high school to now, I've seen such a dramatic change in how they coddle kids. I would have never gotten away with half the shit that I got away with today. Like these kids can they operate in school with little to no regulation or oversight. However, they still try to impose more and more and more regulations on them. So when I say coddle, and maybe you saw some of this while you were in school.
Well, I say I was one of those kids. So,
But no, what I'm saying is like everybody's a winner.
yeah. Oh yeah.
The lack of competition. Now, I think there's a fair argument to say that the testing, not only standardized testing, but testing in general, is a very poor substitute for actual an actual ability to judge somebody on their knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. You could have
Because
test anxiety. You could just
we discussed this when we were talking about your history. Is you had a working functional knowledge of something, but you don't necessarily understand or remember the proper terminology.
right.
And that's again,
And that's all a test is like
I can build a house, but I can't build a blueprint. Read a blueprint,
Right.
You know, something along those lines.
it's like which is more important.
Yeah, and that's like I agree that to a certain extent, you know, kids should maybe be allowed to study again or retake a test. But I think a lot of what the problem today is that kids aren't getting the right education. They keep trying to change the system because it's better for the kids. It's better for the kids. That's like, obviously it's not, because grade scores have been going down continuously and they're being artificially inflated in a lot of cases just because people want the grant money.
Right.
And
Which is sad
it's depressing.
because it's not helping the kids.
No. And I see these kids with the reach and
say
teach
kids.
stuff that the pygmies do, and it's these kids are great innovators. They are creators, and they want to do such a good job. And they typically, the vast majority of them will put in a lot of effort. But there are a couple that will just coast, and they will get the same grade as everyone else. And the kids that are coasting through school now, it's not that it's not just tolerated. Sometimes it just seems like it's encouraged. And I see it sometimes from teachers. And again, not all, and not all teachers are bad. And not all students are lazy, but there are, like, the overwhelming majority of students are just super lazy. I was super lazy in school, but that was also because I knew I wasn't going to go to college.
Right.
I knew coming out of high school, I was going to, more than likely, my goal was to be a musician. I wanted to be a rock star. Now, we'll talk about unrealistic expectations or curbing your expectations and setting realistic goals.
Useful information.
In an upcoming weekly episode. But I learned to manage my own expectations and and understood how to redefine success for myself. What I define as success myself now is being a rock star in my field. So whatever field I'm doing. So if I'm doing video editing or shooting video with Dustin, as I learn that whole process, trying to be the best me I can be, doesn't mean that I get world renowned reviews.
Right.
It means
But it's
that
satisfying to you.
it means
It's
that
your-
I'm just I can look at myself in the mirror and just go, you know what, you kicked that thing's ass. You
It's your definition of success, which we're going to get to in episode 1 or episode 3, I think. That will be
Something.
technically episode 3.
Well,
First part,
episode 2, part 1.
part 1.
Boom.
Jackson
Right there.
Max brain snacks.
Great snacks. So it's been a long road since sobriety, because I joined the Pygmies not long after becoming sober, after Jacob and Jeremiah Sanders accident in Florence, and that wasn't really like, I've never been one for like higher powers. Like I was raised Catholic, and you know I respect the religion, and I respect the belief system.
Right.
But I've never really felt it.
Same.
What ended up happening was the same time that within, I'm talking days, of Jacob and Jeremiah's initial disappearance, we had taken Chrissy, my wife, for those of you that don't remember, we took the Chrissy down to an ENT to have her scoped because she was having vocal problems, because she's the singer in the band we had, Gypsy Riot. She got diagnosed. She had 2 vocal nodules, the bottom of her vocal cords. So your vocal cords make a V,
Mhm.
and they slam together real fast. Well, over time and abuse, and I mean very little actually can damage your vocal cords. But what ended up happening, she has 2 nodules, and the doctor recommended that she go through voice therapy and or have surgery. And the voice therapy was going to be a long and also expensive process, and the surgery was going to be extremely risky.
Mm.
Like even a skilled surgeon could potentially accidentally just barely nick that vocal cord, and then she can't talk forever.
Just
while-
freaking
While some side of me just went, maybe. The other side of me went, no, we're not. So we decided against the surgery for her, and it was going to be like 6 to 9 months of vocal rest. And we say no straining of the voice. And your body will actually, over time, it'll reabsorb those nodes. Well, at the same time,
that's so cool how
and-
your body can just like
no,
fix that.
our bodies
like,
are like, again, the train wreck that I was when I was drinking and partying, like compared to now, from when I quit drinking to 2 or 3 months into the Pygmies, I lost 15 pounds, and I've never weighed more than 185.
right.
So, and at my size, the heaviest I've ever been was 185. Right now, I probably weigh about 162. Maybe after Chinese food, probably 167, because that shit was delicious.
Oh, it was.
But when all this happened, wife gets diagnosed by the ENT with vocal nodules. Jacob and Jeremiah. Wow. Jacob and Jeremiah are still missing. Not quite presumed dead yet, but not looking too good. And then me and the guys in Gypsy Riot, we had a photo shoot scheduled that week. We went and took our photos, and we did a support Sanders, prayers for Sanders photo op while we were there. And then immediately following the photo shoot, drummer comes over the house and says, "Hey, just let you know, I'm leaving in June." This is in March. You couldn't have told me this 6 hours earlier before I spent $400 on pictures.
Right.
He's like, "Hey, well, at least you have pictures till June." I'm like,
The rage, man.
and again, keep in mind, this is before Panama City shut down as well. When I say Panama City shut down, I'm talking
Like
the
La Villa.
clubs, like the spring break in Panama City Beach was still popping. Like it was where you went for spring break.
Oh yeah.
And Gypsy Riot were playing there consistently. Like I think we had 3 weeks there, or 2, maybe it was 2 weeks. We get our first week done. again, Jacob and Jeremiah still hadn't been found yet. We get 4 shows in. My guitar player, and this is only a week after
Austin?
all this. Yeah. Our guitar player, Austin, comes up and he says, hey, I'm going to be leaving in June. I'm going to LA to be a musician, to go to Guitar Institute. Musicians Institute is what it was in LA. And he went there and was wildly successful, which, again, I am not ashamed to admit that I was just like super skeptical. Extremely talented, like good looking kid.
Like he did the damn thing. I think he's still with New Year's Day.
He is still with New Year's Day. And I ate my words. I got to eat my words on that one. He defied all odds on that. I'm not going to lie. Like, I hope the best for him. And I actually met up with him because the Pygmies went to NAMM in LA.
Oh yeah.
When we went there, he was actually doing, he got endorsed by a boss and picked up, and he was actually doing a whole, demonstration on the boss stage.
Oh,
it was
sweet.
awesome. And it was great to see him. And by that point, the bad taste that was in my mouth to everybody, because I felt like everybody was abandoning something that me and Chrissy had spent 4.5 years building, and it was extremely successful. But a lot of people in the Pygmy family don't fully understand is we were fucking set. Like
Right.
as booked out as the Pigs are, which we typically book some venues, 12 to 14 months out. Like they'll book the whole year out. Well, Gypsy Riot was almost to that level. And we weren't quite making Pygmy money as I understand Pygmy money, but we were making pretty close to it.
Right.
And that was my definition of success at that point, because I just went, my wife and I created this. Chrissy started it by herself. I was helping her with a lot of the stuff to begin with in the beginning, but it was her baby. And then I came on board and it was our baby. And then we just kept building and building and building. And then like she's diagnosed with vocal nodules. She's going to have to take forced hiatus. Like she can't sing on stage for 4 hours. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like
your whole world's like freaking upside down at this point.
Well, at this point, it was just like, we're going to have to, the plan initially was prior to joining the Pygmies, because at that point, it was like shutting Gypsy Riot down wasn't an option. It was like, we spent too much time and money and like just personal love building this product, this brand. Like, so we had a very good friend of ours, KDP, who I swear to God could pass like on stage, not up close. KDP and Chrissy on spring break could pass for twins. They are not identical, and you can definitely tell them apart. But
like, what about the voice though?
Definitely sisters, and she's a fantastic singer too. Her personality sets her aside from Chrissy though, because she is wild, a wild child, but funny, hilarious. So we were in talks to her to maybe come in and fill in for a little while Chrissy recovered, and then drummer leaves, and then guitar player leaves. I'm just like, this band that we spent the last year and a half, because Austin had been with us for just over a year and a half, and James had been with us for just over a year. At this point, like my drummer and guitar player is gone. My wife can't sing. So basically it's a whole new band around the bass player.
So
like, in what world does that work? Like,
yeah.
I may have this explosive personality that some people think is attractive, but I'm just like, I don't know if I could hold the entire stage in my hand.
Yeah.
So it was to the point where like, do we put together a whole new band?
Like the Misfits. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I was like, do we put together a whole new band and try to just at least stay afloat for the next year? And, then Bill, the agent for the Pygmies, he hit me up and he said, we'd love to see you in the next Velcro Pygmies picture. And by the way, this was after they did find Jacob and Jeremiah, their bodies.
Right.
Which was, really, like, again, even though I didn't know, I knew Jacob a little bit. I didn't know Jeremiah at all, but I empathize so much with the family, but not just the family, because I haven't lost like a sibling or an extremely close relative in a very long time. I've been very fortunate in that regard. But I felt a lot for the band as well, because I don't like, as I'm sure you can attest, bands, especially touring bands or bands that are have been together for a while and play a lot of shows, you become a lot like a family.
Oh yeah, like
And
a
like
dysfunctional family.
yeah.
Man. Like,
When you lose somebody, especially in an extremely unexpected way, and this is in no way downplaying, Jacob and Jeremiah's family. Mike and Lydia Sanders are wonderful people, and they are above and beyond some of the most spiritually awakened individuals I've ever met.
that's so awesome.
But like I said, I don't know how to empathize so much with them, because I haven't lost anybody like that close to me in my personal family in a very long time. Like I feel it, and it makes me like, I kind of almost want to cry right now, because that still hits hard, feeling for them, but I still don't understand it.
Right.
I understand it a lot more on the rest of the Pygmy side. So like you got Chase and Cam and Chris, because I can understand what it would be like to, be at one of your best friends, even if it's somebody that you don't like that's in the band, like for them to just not be there anymore. Just like, what? That's what?
Just a complete loss
Yeah.
for words. Yeah.
So when they offered the gig, we went back and forth, around, negotiated, and it was pretty much what it boiled down to was I couldn't do the Pygmies without my wife. I told him, I was like, we can figure out how to make it work, in your favor, but also in my favor. But I was like, and the argument that the agent made, and again, I don't blame him for this, and I don't judge him negatively or harshly for this. I
Bill.
hope that doesn't, not. I didn't take a personal offense to this, and I don't judge him for saying what he said, because this is what a lot of people think is, well, there are people that work regular 9-to-5s that, they don't see their wife or their kids for, a couple of days at a time. And, they're on the road and traveling and this and that. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking great for somebody else. It's like, that's not me. It's like, I spent the last 7 years, with this woman, but I've also spent the last 4.5 building something with her, sharing every aspect of our lives. Like, you can't ask me to shut that down. And then like, hey, I go from seeing you and hanging out with you every day and laughing every day and being, being in the same bed every day.
This is my life, man.
To,
you know what I mean? Like,
hey, well, I'll see you in, a week. That's
not happening.
no, and certainly not every week. So what we proposed was, we ended up, the only compromise we could make that made financial sense for both parties, Pygmies and the Wars, was the Velcro Pygmies sorely needed merchandising.
Right.
Enter Max War with his amateur screen printing shop. So I learned how to screen print. The Pygmies hired me, and again, slowly, as I felt my creative juices weren't being allowed to flow, I wasn't able to squeeze the juice.
Right.
That's that, and a spiteful comment here or there that just lit a fire under my ass. That's why I started playing acoustic sets. I learned how to play acoustic guitar, play shows with my wife again, because she'd get up with the Pygmies every once in a while, but it's not the same as doing a set.
Right.
So now we have the Velcro Pygmies. We have Love is War. We also have the unofficial name, War Media Designs, for my design company, which have not done design work for anybody else in years at this point, because I don't have time. And also I don't feel like putting in the energy to really deep dive into Photoshop and
Illustrator,
yeah. Adobe Illustrator. I have a working
great
knowledge.
tools.
I can do. Yeah. If
Great
you want to give
tools.
us a sponsorship, we're using Adobe Audition, and it crashed on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love to give you an endorsement.
We'd love to give you that 5-star
for as much
review.
money as we're paying for a subscription.
It shouldn't be crashing.
Maybe it shouldn't crash. Just Photoshop.
Dustin agrees.
100%.
So Adobe, look, we love you guys, but throw us a bone here. You can't charge that much for a product that crashes. And
We'll
certainly
send you-
not when
we'll send you
when
a
it almost
snack pack.
loses. Certainly not when it's going to lose an hour and a half worth of quality interview time.
Right. Yeah. No, not that. No, we'll send you a snack pack.
But we also have pullpen clothing, which would be what we call the pullpen screen printing. That's
Okay.
what we call the print shop. Again, the unofficial name. So we got all these new facets, and now we have, boom, Brain Snacks,
Brain snacks.
with Jackson Max featuring Dustin. And his
Howdy ho.
just make sure you drop the compression for that. Hey. Otherwise, it won't get picked up. That noise reduction will just like boop gone. But no, it's been.
For those of
And
you at home, compression is a technical term.
I was talking it like
Compression?
squeezies,
Squeeze it.
squeezies.
Maybe squeeze your.
But no, in terms of the 36 years that I've been on this planet, I've only felt like the push from a higher power once that I can actually go, whoa,
Like,
okay, maybe this is where we're supposed to be. And I still don't know if that's what it was or not, but when everything went down with Gypsy Riot, like the domino effect, when it's like usually bad things in my life, they typically happen in threes, and they're three things in a fairly short consecutive time. So like within 3 months, it's like one a month, and then like 2 weeks, something kind of bad will happen. Then
Yeah.
like maybe 3 weeks later, another kind of bad thing will happen. Then followed by, the majority of the rest of the year, just like harmony. But prior to that, it was what happened with Gypsy Riot with, Chrissy getting diagnosed with vocal nodules, and then like immediately following, Jacob and Jeremiah go missing. And again, I knew the Pygmies at that point for like 7 or 8 years prior to the accident. And then after Jacob and Jeremiah's accident, having my guitar player, the drummer quit or declare that he's leaving in June. And then immediately following that, it was just like, when we got the job offer from the Pygmies, it was just like, I don't know if it was the universe testing our metal. Me and the wife, we debated that on several different levels.
I think it certainly worked out. I mean,
it's not.
I guess that's easy for me to say.
It's not always been easy for us because, again, keep in mind, my wife is also an entertainer at heart. She loves being on stage, and she went from being on stage.
I can definitely tell.
2,
She's awesome,
3 nights a week.
by the way.
Thank you. I'm sure she would say thank you as well. But going from being on stage 2-3 times a week to not at all.
It's
that's
a big change.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot for me changed, but so much more changed for her. And that was, it didn't put a huge strain on our relationship. It did not. But it took a huge toll on her personally, which in turn made, again, and shit rolls downhill. That's the term, right?
Yeah.
And it's like trying to make the best of a bad situation. So when all this happened, it's like I said, it felt like a higher power calling, like, look over here, idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, no, here, dumbass.
Right.
But like I said, me and her, we debated on it. It was like, do we, abort this baby that we created with Gypsy Riot, that we put so much blood, sweat, and tears in, and we got so much joy out of? Do we abort this baby and abandon it and go to where we think we're supposed to go?
And
now are we being tested to see if we're going to just hold the line for our proverbial baby?
Right. How many years
very-
was Gypsy Riot together? I didn't know that.
Right at 5, or right at or right under 5 years. I think it was the first 6 months. She did it with, she had hired a couple other guys, and they had a bass player that was a great guy and seriously an amazing musician, like bass player, guitar player, vocalist, like badass. But he was hired as a bass player. He's flaked out so hard. A lot of personal demons for him.
Right.
And I heard, I can't confirm, but I heard that he actually got it together, which, fuck yeah. Dude, I'm
That's awesome.
I'm all about an underdog, man.
Yeah.
Nobody thought you were gonna make it back, dude. Hey, look at you, not being a complete piece of shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy just being kind of a piece of shit. Like I make no illusions about it. Like I'm an asshole. I may not be so PC, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you or care about you.
Right.
I love and care about
And that's like
everybody.
a big part of this podcast, I think.
That was
It's
the
like-
driving force behind it. And I'm so glad that I found a kindred spirit in you and even in Dustin, even if he's not on camera, he's shaking his head back there.
Oh yeah, he's listening.
But like to find somebody else that wants to have that conversation and wants to talk to people about, just because you don't like where you are in life doesn't mean that you should take it out on somebody else. And it doesn't mean that you have to be stuck in that where you are in that life. And
We can get so much further if we just stay positive. And
well,
stick together.
it's not just
Like,
stay positive, but it's taking the right steps and making better decisions for yourself. Because with the way society is set up today, and I think a lot of people, I touched on this, I think off camera. The world is so centered, especially since the advent of the internet.
mm,
The world is so invested in instant gratification for everything. If it doesn't happen now, I can't have it. Then I don't need it, or I don't want it, or it's not good enough.
right.
And
Our attention span is just
there's-
freaking weak, man.
oh man, this is why I would love to look it up. I don't know where the quote came from, but good things, all good things come to those who wait.
Right.
Well, it's not just, I would like to amend that. It's all good things come to those that are willing to work their ass off.
Yeah,
for
not
it.
wait. You don't wait on something to happen.
Well, waiting is part of the game. And a lot
Patience.
of-
You
yes.
need patience.
Patience is good. I like
Patience
that.
is like the number one.
Maybe we
thing.
can rewrite that. We can rebrand that with a
Good
Brain
things come
Snacks
to those
logo.
who are patient,
Yes.
patiently working.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll wordsmith that out some more. Obviously, neither of us are singers, songwriters. Maybe not songwriters. But I can stitch together words in a coherent fashion. That's about it. I don't know how artsy it gets.
Yeah.
But like I just having the ability to have a conversation with somebody and actually be anxious to hear what they like. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about a lot of stuff we have coming up.
Oh yeah, man. And vice versa to you, because you're a smart mother. And
It's
you are a
not-
sharp
it's-
mother too.
Flattery will get you
I'm just-
everywhere, good sir.
Yeah, well,
I'll take my jacket off. Okay.
you getting all this, Dustin? You see where he touched me?
Look at my hands. Look at my hands. No,
Be like
no.
Keanu Reeves
No.
over here.
Exactly.
Dude,
That's-
what a
dude,
class
that's a-
act, man.
okay. There's one more.
Such a smart move.
We're gonna shut this fucking thing down. Let's move on to the next topic. But there's one thing I want any fucking Pig fan that watches this to know. There's a good reason that I don't take my fucking shirt off anymore on stage. I'm not a fucking stripper.
Yeah.
If you're not shoving $20 bills down, and I'm not talking singles, I'm talking 20s or up.
So you don't take your shirt off anymore?
Nope.
So
I
we're
have
missing
not,
all
I have
that?
not had my shirt off on stage at a Pygmy show in over a year. It's at least been a year and a half. About the same time I changed my eyeliner up.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I never. I mean, I guess I just.
Look, I knew coming into the Pygmies that it's like kind of rowdy, raunchy party band. And again, I'm all about the show. So I get into it and I can be goofy and silly and I'll do my pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that voice, then you're not really pelvic thrusting. Are you? I mean, try to pelvic thrust at home. Go ahead. Pelvic thrust. You can't really do it without you get that voice on.
What is that, like South Park or
It's a little,
something?
no, it's a little exhale. Exhale. It's hard when you're gonna. Or you know.
All right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see y'all later.
But no, the problem is
We're making a noise.
I knew the deal coming in, but also this was the first band that I've ever been in where it was just like the fact that I was married wasn't really laughed at or frowned upon,
Right.
because every other band is like me and Chrissy were always kind of quiet about us being in a relationship even prior to being married. When we were doing Gypsy Riot, just because some fans might think it's a turnoff that, oh, well, the bass player's banging the singer, or singer's banging. And while I understand that sex sells to a degree, it was a refreshing change when we came into the Pig Fam and our relationship wasn't poo-pooed, it was celebrated.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, my wife is far more popular than I ever will be.
You guys are like
band.
a duo, you know, like you guys go to like.
Well, we are what has been described by some
as a modern acoustic duo.
You know it, baby. Loveiswar.rocks if you feel so inclined.
Check it out for some sexy sounds.
But the reason I don't take the shirt off anymore is because, again, I feel that I'm delivering the entertainment value that people are entitled to. If you request more, or you try to forcibly take more by, I don't know, trying to grab my dick while I'm on stage, and my wife is standing less than 10 feet away from me.
That's a long car ride home.
No, I'm not. My wife, no, she's not worried about me. No. In nearly 10 years, that
it's just annoying.
But it's not that it's annoying. It's that it's incredibly disrespectful, and like playful, funny. Yeah, but at a certain point, it's just like, look, if I did this to, if you were on stage as a female right now, and I just went up and grabbed your or let's say that I went up and I grabbed you right by the. How fucking offended would you be? I'd be in handcuffs the next day.
President.
The next day. Well, maybe. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Are we ready for a Mohawk president?
I don't know. I don't know if America. I know what we're ready for is oh God, Terry Crews, Idiocracy.
Oh, Alejandro, Mountain Dew,
monster truck, whatever. Chavez. I don't even know.
I didn't realize that was Mike Judge that wrote and directed that.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Dude,
I wish they would have done. I wish they would have had a little bit more of a budget.
It's still good to me. Though. I discovered it after I discovered it like
we weren't supposed to broach political issues.
Okay. Idiocracy is a great film. That's all I was saying.
However,
something's happening.
No.
Aneurysm?
America is a new age Roman Empire. We've spread ourselves so thin, and we've become so complacent, and we've become so politically correct that now we will start to continue, because we've already crossed. I think we've crossed the point of no return. It's just how long is it going to take for it to fall apart completely? We've already, in my opinion, we've already crossed the point of no return. The nation is so divided, and it's never going to come back together. There's not one, unless it would have to be an extremely charismatic individual. I am not going to ever be that person, because I will piss off everybody on both sides. But the nation's just going to start. Well, it's going to continue to fall apart.
Well, it's eating itself.
It is, and it isn't. There's a lot of outside influences on the nation, but aside from that, the fact that the American public at large are so ready to open up and just baby bird that, just gonna.
It's scary, man.
Just gonna swallow what you feed me. They'll swallow whatever said on
just lay here and die.
Well, I'm not even gonna use the analogy of a Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Because although the analogy with Kool-Aid has cult background, and I think that has a lot more to do with both the left and the right now. It's blowing my mind just how blindly people are following both Trump and Biden. Like both Democrats and Republicans,
it's crazy
are just
how
so
the
blindly
people
running down and listening to these political talking head. They don't fucking care about us. They don't. There's no way that they do. And if they did, they would self-impose term limits, and not a one of these in office would have taken their salary, while shutting down the entire U.S. economy. A public servant.
Right. They forget who they work for, don't they?
Public servant. They don't serve us. Everyone. Okay. I don't like big brushstrokes because that's a big move. But the vast majority of these politicians are self-serving pieces of shit. And they're fucking hypocrites. And nobody in the media will call them the fuck out because they're cowards, they're bought off, or they're fucking CIA. And that's my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, look, a lot of truth to that. I mean, I definitely agree.
And I don't care. I don't care if you want to go Fox News, Newsmax.
It's all, man.
It's CNN. It's all the media outlets right now.
Well, and it makes it so hard, especially like for my generation, because like I say for my generation, and really for everybody, but like just my experience, like it just makes it so hard to trust like anything.
Mhm.
Like you don't know what the hell. So you, like,
Dude,
like,
yeah.
well, I mean, I know we're gonna get to that in some episodes, but I'm just saying, like, that to me is the biggest thing because how, like, in order to do anything, like I feel like you need to find something that's true to start.
Yeah.
And then you can like base off that truth, base your opinion off that. But like you have to work so hard to find the truth.
Where do you find a credible source?
I mean, primary. I don't know. You have to go primary. You have to go like direct, like it is or it isn't. Like what?
Where again?
Like,
how do you do that?
Numbers, like I guess, are numbers. I mean,
prime numbers, maybe. I know nothing about math. Don't ask me to math.
I don't know. Yeah, we're getting
okay.
Here it is.
So that's that basic half-ass extremely long-winded roundabout story of how I became the person I am so far.
I think you did a good job. You condensed 36 years into like probably
way too long of a
40
conversation.
minutes. I mean, no,
you should have shut the fuck up about 40 minutes ago,
dude.
man.
No, mine just I just didn't do it. Like I didn't.
Well, it's okay. I am,
but I'm happy to be here.
I'm at a point in my life, and maybe you're not there yet. And I'm not saying you are or aren't, because I'm not going to make that assumption on you, because I still don't feel like I know you as well as I'd like to. If you know what I mean.
God, this guy's a creep. Yes. I've been telling you this, Dustin. Like, oh. All right. Not too close though.
No touchy.
Keep it back, man.
No touchy. But no, again, maybe you're not willing to talk about it, but I think you have a pretty good handle on who you are.
I hope so.
I think we can both agree that we're never going to know ourselves completely because we're always ever growing, ever changing, and ever evolving. So, if we keep that in mind, again, we can always revisit this if you ever feel like you want to talk more about it. And
I think
if you want to talk off camera, we don't need the
microphone. Well, I mean, like this whole thing, like, is just like reflection. Like, I guess I just don't reflect enough. Like thinking about like, is my life is a story, you know? Like maybe I haven't got to that point yet, but like, I mean, obviously know these events, but like I said, I'm like, why does anybody care?
I like life as a story because I got a lot of blank pages and a lot of blank chapters. I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
Well, don't get old. This sucks.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, I could easily get. I could easily get in a car accident. Like,
dude.
Don't get old.
Knock it, dude. No.
It's okay. I'm a safe driver. AAA. I'm a AAA member.
AAA member. Also AAA. Look, we're just fishing for sponsorships right now. It's because we knocked. So we're gonna go ahead and shut this off while the dogs sing us out.
Yep. This has been successful.
I'll call that a wrap.
Yep.
Did you subscribe?